Hello, hello, and welcome to Baki Talkie Season 2, Episode 11. This is a great episode, more rising action of the Muhammad Ali saga. And to help discuss this, we've got a returning guest all the way back from Season 1. It's Naomi.
Hello, everyone.
That's good, yeah. I like to say hello as well.
Oh, was I just doing
So, we've got a lot to talk about this episode, but before we jump in, I have a fun question that I've been doing. I think it's fun. So, if, let's say, they make a live-action Baki movie, and you were in charge of casting it, who do you get to play Muhammad Ali Jr.?
Oh, okay. I think I have my answer.
Okay.
I've seen Creed, number 1.
I thought you were going to say like Creed Bratton from The Office. Oh. Creed? Yeah, okay.
So I think I go with Michael B. Jordan.
That would be such a step down for him in his career to go from Creed. But I do think, I think that's the most obvious choice.
Yeah, I would watch it and I enjoy to look at Michael B. Jordan. What have other people said?
So the cinematic universe that we have so far, we have Michael B. Jordan as Muhammad Ali Jr. The guy from Squid Games will play Yujiro Hanma because they both have red hair. And the old man from the opening intro will be played by Bill Skarsgård, because according to Lindsay, he was good in It, and he could probably play a little old man very well.
Is Bill Skarsgård related to Peter Skarsgård?
I have to assume. Who is Peter Skarsgård?
I thought that's another actor, but I don't actually know who it is.
All right, we'll let Editor Steve solve this problem. Hey, Editor Steve here. So it's Bill Skarsgård, but Peter Sarsgaard, so they're not related. Although Peter Sarsgaard is related to Maggie Gyllenhaal because that's his wife. A little fun fact for you. All right, so this episode, it starts with Muhammad Ali meeting his father in a hotel room. Now, this is the fun thing about this episode. I don't think you realized it was Muhammad Ali until 15 minutes in or so. Is that true?
Yes. So it was only when the proposition was made that he was gonna fight Baki.
Yeah.
And then I think they say something like, it's Muhammad Ali Jr. versus Baki.
Well, Mr. Muhammad Ali Jr., you really are a true warrior.
And I thought they were joking. And then I sort of looked at the guy. I don't think I would have gotten it, but because I watched it with Steven, like, I asked, is this real? And he said yes. But I think otherwise I probably wouldn't have gotten it until you see him put on the hat.
To disguise his identity.
Because, well, you know how, like, Muhammad Ali Sr. wears that hat, and it's like a characteristic look, and then I got it, but I don't think based on the look of the character, the voice, the personality, etc., I was really getting it.
A few episodes back, Serena asked if I thought that Muhammad Ali would enjoy this show. I really don't think he would have liked this episode. His portrayal is, I love it. It's hilarious, but it's not what I would think Muhammad Ali would do in this situation.
It's a good question. Does he for real have a son named Muhammad?
You know, it's funny. I originally thought that he just had a daughter, Layla Ali, but we looked into it. He actually has 9 children, and I think 8 of them might be men. But I don't know if he has a Muhammad Ali Jr., but who knows?
Yeah, so it's a good question of would he enjoy this narrative about this son that he doesn't actually have. I mean, how would you feel if, like, you know, there end up being an anime about you and it's about you and your podcast and, like, your son?
So I would,
like, this is Steven Lyons Jr. He's, like, he's a really good podcaster.
I guess it depends. Do I beat up my son for being a better podcaster than me?
I would say you just compete in the same space.
Okay. I dunk on him with better numbers. I get more monthly downloads.
Like the Apple Top 10. Is it the Apple Top 10 competition or something?
the Apple Top 10 competition. Unless it's the top 10 anime podcast of Croatia. I don't think I'm getting anywhere near that. Yeah, no. Thank you for comparing me to Muhammad Ali of podcasting, though.
Well, we could go like basketball.
Oh my
you
god.
have many skills.
Thank you for calling me the Muhammad Ali of basketball. Step back, Jokic.
Sketch comedy.
Yeah.
I still think you and Lindsay should make more YouTube videos. Cross promotion.
Okay, let's jump into what's happening at the beginning of the episode. So Muhammad Ali meets Muhammad Ali. Let's call them Junior and Senior to save time. So Junior is in crutches. He looks like every limb of his body is broken. His face is banged up. We don't see it, but his tongue is still recovering because that almost got cut in half.
Whoa.
And his father is basically just like...
Are you ready to get started?
Hold on a minute, Dad. Seriously? We haven't seen each other for so long, and you just want to jump right into a fight?
We're fighting because we're father and son.
Son, I've been waiting for 5 years to beat you up. Let's fight.
And then he throws the crutch in the air, and it spins.
Yeah. That's amazing. Were you surprised that he wanted to fight his son?
I don't know how good of a parent Muhammad Ali is portrayed as in the show. There's several views that are espoused that I think I disagree with. Though, of course, like, I'm not a fighter myself, and so
Right.
it could be a cultural difference. But if a father and a son are both fighters, then should they be fighting each other? I mean, I don't know the answer to that question.
I think the thing is, yes, that is, I guess, interesting. If a father and son both box, should they box each other? And also, should it be extremely serious? But the real question is it okay to fight somebody who is in crutches and all this stuff? Like, and let's just put this out here. Muhammad Ali makes he tries to hide it, but it's very clear that he is exceedingly happy that his son is in crutches because now he can easily beat him up.
Yeah, I mean, I think he basically says, that he took a lot of pleasure in beating his son.
I wasn't about to lose to you yet another time. The man I trained 5 years to defeat at death's door. What's more, his arms and legs were almost entirely destroyed. I wasn't about to pass up a chance like that.
Because he's not normally in that state. Yeah, I mean, he calls him too young, too slow, and above all, too weak. Which is more of, like, I get it, he's doing, like, the fatherly thing. Mm-hmm. But it seems like he actually also takes a pleasure in, like, just being able to beat his own son.
Well, it's like... It almost seems like you're trying to toughen him up, except Muhammad Ali's dream would be that he never gets any stronger and that he can continuously beat up his son. Also, I just want to put this out here. You wouldn't know this because you haven't seen Muhammad Ali in the many other episodes he's shown up. We're talking about Senior here. Like, he has... In every other scene, it seems like, just like in real life, that he has Parkinson's. Like, he is very slow. He's literally drooling out of his mouth in most shots. But it seems like he has worked out so much that he has worked through Parkinson's. Like, it has receded because he is so... And he's ripped now, also.
Okay, that makes so much more sense that this is, like, an ongoing narrative. Because of, like, I guess we'll talk about what comes later.
Yeah.
The speech that he gives his son about medicine.
Oh, yeah.
But... that makes sense that that's what formed his belief about that in the first place.
I see. He healed himself from an incurable disease through hard work, so maybe he wants to, like, get his son to try harder to heal through his broken bones.
Yeah, it makes me kind of empathize with him a little bit more. So does the real Muhammad Ali have Parkinson's?
Well, he did until he died in 2016.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry
for your loss.
It's okay. It gets easier
On
every
behalf
day,
of men, I'm sorry.
Oh
I'm sorry
God.
for your loss. Oh, okay. So That seems kind of more offensive that they put him in and
to be
gave him
fair,
Parkinson's disease. I don't know.
To be fair, this was written in like the year 2000, so it was Muhammad Ali would have been a lot younger, and I think probably just starting to show signs of it at the time this was written. Baki's a weird time capsule. I'm pretty sure next season like Bush is the president.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because like you know how the guy says like later on, like I think it's one of the security guards in front of the apartment or something. He's like, "You're more famous than the president." What president is he referring to? Well, who's in power during Baki?
Yeah. Did you like the part where they talked about soup?
It was amazing. Yeah, because okay, so then there was like the soup, and they talk about how the soup. Yeah, I guess I just wrote nice image of the soup, and it's just like a soup with like there's like a crab. And
I'll be honest, that did not look like my type of
shrimp.
soup. I don't think you could eat that with a spoon.
It looked like not yet dead. Everything looked kind of alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the next thing I wrote is thanks to that, I understand everything now.
A talented chef has such skill, such elegance, that they can create a soup that allows the diner to identify from just one spoonful all the ingredients that went into making it.
So what was the soup? Was like some kind of analogy about things being complicated?
So theoretically, a great chef can make a soup where you take one sip and you can taste everything that was in the meal. And Muhammad Ali punched his son in such an expert way that Muhammad Ali Jr., I guess, learned all of his flaws. Honestly, that is parenting, and I think more people should hit their kids to teach them all of their flaws.
So you actually think that Muhammad Ali Sr. is a great dad.
Definitely top 2 on this show, him and Yujiro.
Yujiro is Baki's dad.
Yeah. Yeah, that the end of the season is literally like 2 dads sicking their sons on each other, which is how I think most problems should be solved. I think you should get your children, grow them to an age where they can fight other people to solve your problems.
Yeah, I like it that the show, it's like everybody is sort of like a pawn in like this broader game or something, because it's like the sons are kind of like pawned, and then obviously the girlfriend.
They kept talking about the game of being the world's strongest man.
All these people trying to determine the world's strongest man. I want to free you from the universe that those people live in. As your father, that's something I feel very deeply.
Even you wanted to fight and defeat your own son, no matter what it took. That goes to show just how irresistible playing this game is.
But Junior...
Yeah, I lost those matches. But still, I'm not going to give up. It's too late in the game for that.
And it was honestly like in Game of Thrones, where it's like, what is it? In the Game of Thrones, you either win or you die. And I guess the point of Game of Thrones is that, like, you know, it's sort of silly, this power that we're fighting over and all that stuff. But it's so apparent when we're just talking about being the world's strongest man. Or, as Baki was described, the world's strongest boy, which I think is a much less impressive title.
Boy is funny. What is the name of anime for boys?
I think there's 2 names. Shonen is the main one. I think that's for young boys. There might be one that's for more mature, refined people. Editor Steve here. The name for anime targeted at adult males is seinen. Like shonen, shoujo is for girls.
For like the older Japanese guys that like can't leave the house because they're so depressed.
Yeah, those guys don't read Baki. Those guys are at the gym every day.
Also, I just lost the game.
I'm gonna have to edit that out of the podcast. People are gonna unsubscribe.
Is that too volatile? Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, that's cruel. Oh man, where are we in your notes? I feel bad. I feel like I'm jumping over the place because you're like flipping back and forth.
Okay. Yeah. So it was I understand everything now because of like the soup. Yeah. Getting punched allowed for MA Jr. to know his own flaws.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about how the fight actually goes, which is that Muhammad Ali Sr. destroys his son, gets a bunch of good punches in, and then he gets dragged up to... this is all in a hotel also, so at the end of it, Muhammad Ali gets put into the penthouse. I bet whoever had to change those sheets was pissed off.
Yeah, because it was I mean, there's just, like, so much injury to look at. Like, you know, there's, like, all these, like, Band-Aids and, like...
Yeah.
It's just very... decay seems to be a strong theme in this episode.
Yeah, you're either going up or you're going down. And Muhammad Ali, he's on a three-loss streak. And then he loses to his dad. But while they're up in the hotel room, they get a mysterious visitor. Our good friend, Mr. Tokugawa, the leader of the underground fighting arena, comes in.
That's the little guy?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, hello! There he is. There's the great fighter.
11th generation businessman, Mr. Tokugawa, who offers a pretty enticing deal for Muhammad Ali to fight Baki Hanma. One thing I just realized we missed is that whenever Muhammad Ali Sr. wants his son to do something, he will turn away from the camera and just start smiling because he's tricking his son into it.
It's so weird. Like, he gives this face, like, with, like, weird, like, gritted teeth.
The way that the author draws Muhammad Ali, I feel like he's taking, like, concept photos of him fighting with, like, very weird expressions.
Yeah, because I guess, like, that, like, weird teeth face is totally, like, a fighting face of, like, just trying to, like, get through it or something. Yeah. But that's, like, the face that he makes when the little guy proposes that he fights... Sorry, everyone.
Tokugawa says...
Tokugawa proposes that he fights Baki.
The world's strongest boy.
The world's strongest boy. And then, I can't remember if it's before or after, but Muhammad Ali Jr. says that weird thing about, like, strength. Do you remember this? Like,
oh, yeah. What was it?
It's like, who's stronger? I don't know if this is the actual quote. Who's stronger seems like such a simple concept, but it's
actually really
surprisingly deep. And I'm like, okay, what do you mean exactly?
Who's stronger? It seems like such a simple concept, but what it really means can be surprisingly deep.
Yeah, and then he talks about... He basically just complains about all of the old men who've beaten him in the last few episodes. Because he talks about a 150-year-old man we saw, and then he talks about Doppo and Shibukawa, who both kicked his ass last episode and who probably combined for 130 years. And then his dad beat him up. It seemed like he was saying, like, it might look like I'm stronger because I'm faster and I punch harder and I'm really young, but it doesn't matter because these old men inexplicably have beaten me.
Maybe he's, like, acting so weird because he has, like, several concussions.
It's very possible, like,
because he kind of, like, he has actually, and, you know, forgive me for this comparison because maybe I'm wrong, but he has, like, a kind of Joe Rogan vibe, like
Muhammad Ali Jr. or
Muhammad
Sr.?
Ali Jr.
Alright, yeah, I see it.
Like, because he's sort of into, like, self-mastery and, like, he's kind of, like, you know, the typical, like, bro.
Yeah, he is like Joe Rogan.
Do you see what I mean? Like...
Well, I try not to listen to a lot of Joe Rogan, but Muhammad Ali does seem like he takes very simple concepts and sort of just goes with it.
Yeah, I guess it's, like, the thing about, like, it can be surprisingly deep. And it's like, if you were, like, so stoned, you would be like, whoa.
That could, you know what? I'm gonna use those AI speech things and make it an actual Joe Rogan quote. The fight to be the world's strongest man seems simple, but it's actually surprisingly deep.
Oh, you're gonna make a deep fake of Joe Rogan doing Baki.
It's entirely possible that I might do that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So deepfakes of audio have been, I think, a bit more legally cracked down on, so I can't use Joe Rogan's voice. So here's the fictional character of Walter White.
Which is stronger, It seems like such a simple concept, but what it really means can be surprisingly deep.
I think, if you like shared that on the right part of Twitter, like people would be fooled.
The right part of Twitter, the Baki Joe Rogan intersection. That would be the worst part of Twitter. Not to say I actually love parts of the Baki fan community, but I don't think the overlap with Joe Rogan's gonna do any favors.
I also love the Baki fan community.
Like who? Me and that guy from the library?
I just think whoever could like this show, like they're weird in the right way.
Yeah, that's fair. Baki is going to fight Muhammad Ali Jr., or at least Muhammad Ali Jr. has signed up for it. And the rest of the episode is we just get a few sort of vignettes of people reacting to this news. So first off, I think we get Antonia Gari talking to Tokugawa about who they think will win. Do you know the history behind Igari?
No, who is that? Is that the guy who's kind of older?
This was the guy who... Sorry, that was a bit vague. Which guy are you talking about?
I don't know. He's like older guy with like a longish brown hair.
Longish brown hair. Did he have a red tie and a blue suit?
Yes, I want to say.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's Igari.
Okay.
The guy who was talking about how he fought Muhammad Ali back in the day.
Yes, okay, yes. Yeah.
So Antonio Igari is based on... He's a character that actually has been in the manga and anime for a long time because he's based on a real Japanese wrestler. And that real Japanese wrestler fought the real Muhammad Ali in an exhibition match. And in both the show and real life, the guy was getting his ass kicked. So what he did was he just was like, well, this isn't a boxing match. So he just lay on the ground and basically said, come on down here. And Muhammad Ali just didn't want to do that. And that was the end of the fight. And that's why they called it the dullest fight of the century.
Yeah, I see it. That wouldn't make it onto the Baki anime.
Oh, no, it did. They've talked about it ad nauseum. They call it the Ali Igari maneuver. And this is probably the fourth time it's come up.
Oh, so did the person who wrote Baki, did they just love fighters? Like the history of fighting? They
love the history of fighting. They love Muhammad Ali. Like his in the ring and outside of the ring. And yeah, like this whole show is a love letter to the idea of working out and fighting people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we didn't talk about like the best sequence of the whole show when he puts on the 5-pound boots.
When he solves his Parkinson's.
Yeah, because it was really, it was really inspiring.
Oh yeah. Well, and he like worked his way up. He said it took him 9 times longer to get into shape than he used to.
It took 9 times longer to reach that point than when I was in my prime. It was slow going.
But yeah.
At first he couldn't even walk, but then one day he could run. And then he could be his son.
Let that be a lesson. It's never too late to beat up your son.
Yeah. That's like my motivation in the gym. Like,
one of these
one day I might have a son.
Yeah.
Is that like do you think it's like a
reverse Oedipus complex?
You know what I was gonna ask.
The Oedipus complex is you need it. I guess it's more common in the Baki world. It would be to what? To kill your son and marry hopefully your wife, yeah, I guess, in this scenario.
Marry Baki's girlfriend.
Oh my god. That's
the Neo-Oedipal complex.
That's actually pretty believable with the characters in this show. Speaking of fathers, Yujiro shows up and we have a quick conversation where oh my god, the best visual of probably this season. Yujiro comes in the hallway. Muhammad Ali has a bunch of security guards with him.
Oh, this is like the apartment 0000.
Yeah. So the guards are like,
who are you?
And then Yujiro just snarls at them and grows to the size of probably 30 feet tall.
Oh,
and these buff, burly security guards are just going like, oh no.
The best shot is like they do one where it's like under his leg from behind. And so, like, all of the background is red, and then, like, you just see, like, his two legs, like, they're, like, trees.
His feet look like the size of a car. Like, it's so great. They love to do that in this show. But him and Muhammad Ali have a nice friendly chat. They're still friends. Yujiro recognizes that Muhammad Ali is a civil rights icon. And they just talk about how strong Baki is and that he'll be a good fight for Muhammad Ali.
He isn't perfect, but my blood runs through his veins. Physically, emotionally, experientially, all his capabilities surpass the modern-day Olympic athlete.
Editor Steve, just listening to this quote as I'm editing, I don't know what Yujiro means by that Baki is emotionally beyond the average Olympic athlete. Like, on the one hand, I don't think he is. But secondly, I don't think that Olympic athletes are especially emotional. Anyway, I think that's a translation thing there.
So, Yujiro, did he get some work done?
No. That's just what it looks like when your entire body mass is muscles.
Oh, I see. Like, I don't know. I sort of thought, but I haven't looked at this character for very long. But I sort of thought they, like, stylized him to have, like, plastic surgery face, like, because you know the way his eyes are angled and like his nose and everything.
Oh yeah, no, Yujiro's just body horror, but I don't think he's done any work specifically.
Yeah, they all have this sort of like chest shelf that's like kind of disturbing. Like,
well, my dad on the first episode was confused if Yujiro was supposed to be a woman because he had such long hair and, as in his words, enormous pecs. And I was like, this is ridiculous.
It's so strange. Like, they all have like cleavage, but
yeah.
It's just like right at the collarbone. Like,
it's incredible muscles. But that's why you watch this show, you know.
Yeah, I think I know.
So we get one more random conversation between Doppo Arachi and Goki Shibukawa. You didn't see this, but in the previous episode, they both kicked Muhammad Ali's ass. Also while he was in crutches. It was a real impressive showing by those guys. But they think that Muhammad Ali will beat Baki because I guess they beat him up so bad that he's going to invent new moves to counter that. So I guess this is as good as time as any. Everybody seems to be coming in on the Muhammad Ali side. Who do you think would win in this upcoming fight?
I'm on Team Baki. And here's my reason. I think it's more at the level of emotion. Because I don't trust Muhammad Ali Jr.'s motivations for being successful in this fight. Because I think that there's an earlier scene where they're like, is this before when they're on the bridge?
Oh, with Kozue?
Yeah, that's Kozue?
That's Kozue, yeah.
She's looking hotter this season. She's got like a Sailor Moon outfit.
Well, she has a schoolgirl, so she's wearing like an outfit from school, but yeah.
So she's what, in like high school?
I think she's like 17, yeah.
So insane. Because I think the last time I saw Kozue, she was like crying. Because I don't know, something to do with broken glass.
Sikorsky jumped in the window and kidnapped her.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She's doing better now.
Yeah, so she was looking good. She's looking really good.
She's 17. Who are your chance?
Well, I don't think I'm the problem. I think Muhammad Ali Jr. is the problem. Because he basically tells her that he's like, you're the reason why I want to do this fight with Baki. And she's like, what? And
how am I being reckless?
Because you won't accept what I'm telling you. And you judge me like I'm some kind of shallow womanizer.
'Cause you are.
He's like, it's you, like, and it's him. Because, like, if I win the fight, then I'm going to get you.
Yeah. Some people can't even go to the bathroom, but some people can fly across the world.
Oh yeah, right.
You're my vacation destination.
I forgot about that part.
Focusing on a clear goal makes you stronger. I have to say, it's really pretty amazing. Sometimes we can feel lazy about just walking down the hall to go to the bathroom. But if it's for something we really want, like a vacation, we'll travel thousands of miles to another country.
Yeah, that's true.
Was there like an error in translation?
No way,
Or,
because
like...
you saw the visuals.
Yeah,
They lined up
that's true.
perfectly.
Yeah, so, you know, the way that he views women is a little bit flawed, maybe.
You picked it up perfectly. Yeah, he's got very problematic views on women.
He's almost like, it's almost like a kind of an incel guy.
Yeah, I think Muhammad Ali would hate this show.
Cause like he's like a self-mastery guy, right? Like he's like, if I get like big and strong enough, then like I get everything I want. Like
100%, yeah.
Like, you know, and I just think the messaging is so poor, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, if you read like Men Going Their Own Way or something, like I swear these guys talk this way, like.
Men going their own way to Japan.
Yeah. Or like I was reading like, you know, Elliot Rodger.
Yeah.
Like, you know how he has like a manifesto?
Oh yeah.
And he's like, I mean, I just read the beginning, but he's like, I'm on the beach and like and these girls, like, this is the most humiliating moment of my life because like these girls they're like talking to this other guy and they totally ignore me, and like if only I was hotter then my life would be so much better, and blah blah blah. And it's like,
well, he should have tried to be the strongest man in the world.
well, that's what I mean, is like, it's like these guys like just like they have this like sort of belief that women are there for the taking based on your like value as a result of your work.
At the Take building,
quote unquote, yeah. And Kozue is kind of like, yeah, I mean,
she's so passive.
Like,
she started off by being like, "This is so stupid, I'm leaving," and then he says that thing about people sometimes don't want to go to the bathroom, but they do want to go on vacation, and she goes, "He's right."
And like, whatever, she's 17, I get it, you know. I came to lots of conclusions based on what people told me when I was 17.
And you weren't even talking to a Muhammad Ali Jr. That must be pretty persuasive.
But that's what I mean, is like Muhammad Ali Jr., he has a flaw in his thinking, and therefore like if he wins this fight, like I'm just worried for the world. I think he would be better off with a loss.
The world's strongest boy against the world's strongest incel.
Yeah. And I'm not saying like, oh, he should lose and then he should like, you know, rent a van or something like
what?
that.
Rent a van to do what?
Like, I mean.
Oh my god.
But I'm just saying that narratively, I don't think that his sort of thinking should be rewarded. And it's like, what's gonna happen? Like, is he actually gonna win? And then Kozue is actually gonna be like, okay, like, hey, Muhammad Ali Jr.,
my man.
And then Bach is like, oh, like, too bad, and that's it.
Well, that's 1 vote to Baki and 3 votes to Muhammad Ali Jr.
Oh wow.
Well, not from me. I mean from like Dopo, Goki, and Kanji Igari. But we'll see you next week. Next week is the thrilling conclusion to the Muhammad Ali storyline. And then the week after that, we find out what all the death row inmates are up to in a weird sort of denouement. So, Naomi, thank you for coming on the show for a second time. Question for you. I know you've answered this before, but now that you've watched 2 episodes of Baki, do you think the show is getting better as it goes on?
First of all, thanks for having me. It was a pleasure to watch this episode of Baki. And I would say that no, it's not. I really preferred the visuals in the previous episode. I thought you saw a lot more, and there seemed to be more going on, and the plot has really narrowed to a point that I find it, it's less weird, but it's also less interesting.
Yeah. No, I agree. This is like a very like small scale storyline for Baki, this little mini arc, which is hilarious to say that Muhammad Ali and his son fighting the main character is the small scale arc. But it is missing the grandiose, because your last episode was the introduction of Mr. Oliver, who I'm wearing a shirt with his face on it.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
For those of you listening.
Yeah, you better say it. This is from my mom. And she listens, so.
I commented right away when I saw it.
There we go. But yeah, it's missing a bit of the flashiness that the exotic death row inmates and the world's freest man.
Yeah, the United Nations.
Yeah, we didn't get the United Nations coming in.
There's like there was like the Americans, there was the Russians, and now we're just sort of like vaguely in Japan, and Muhammad Ali Jr. bows, as a reference, and that's all we get.
I think the thing is that it's like a bring down chapter, because like the last arc was after the death row inmates, they all flew to China to fight in a once in 100-year tournament, and then the Japanese-American Winners Alliance was fighting the Chinese coalition. It was very, big stuff. So I feel like this is just a reset, just to let everybody calm down. Now, is that something this anime needs? Probably not. But anyway. Cool. Well, I think that's all the Baki that we've got to Taki. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Good job.
Friday.